In this video, I'm going to share with you all of my hair care tips, tricks, and hacks, especially for frizzy and curly, wavy kind of hair like mine, but they can also be applied for hair of any type as well. Okay, let's get straight into the video. Number one, and you have definitely heard of this one before, and that is because it is so important and it really does make a huge difference, and that is using a silk or satin pillowcase. So using a cotton pillowcase actually absorbs moisture and product from your hair, and that is especially bad for frizzy or brittle hair types. It will leave your hair dry and prone to breakage, and it also creates a lot of friction. And silk pillowcases aren't only good for your hair, they're amazing for your skin, and that was actually the main reason why I got my silk pillowcase, because cotton has a tendency to absorb all of the dirt and debris and bacteria from your skin and your hair, and then that gets transferred back onto your face and your hair every night when you go to sleep. Silk or satin, on the other hand, is way less absorbent like that, and it doesn't have that same issue. Number two is using a microfiber towel. I absolutely love using a microfiber towel. I can really feel the difference in my hair. Microfiber towels are very absorbent, so you don't need to rub your hair at all. You literally just scrunch your hair up to the towel and it absorbs most of the moisture. And because of that, because you're handling your hair less with the towel, it causes way less friction than a normal towel would. And over time, that leads to way less breakage and damage to your hair. It is actually said to be an anti-frizz product, which means you need to use less of your anti-frizz products if you use a microfiber towel. Number three is to not brush your hair ever while it is wet. Brushing your hair while it is wet actually puts a lot more tension on the strand that would otherwise just slide through the brush if it was dry. So most of your hair breakage actually happens when your hair is wet. It is at its vulnerable, fragile state. So please leave your hair alone while it is wet. Try brushing your hair before your shower while it is dry to get the tangles out. And what I usually like to do is to just detangle my hair while I put conditioner in. Most of the time I don't even brush it out before I shower, because the conditioner just loosens everything and gets all the tangles out itself. And I usually just use my fingers to brush my hair in the shower. And if conditioner doesn't work for getting your tangles out, try using a little bit more. When you put a lot of conditioner in your hair, everything just loosens up. And I know people say only use a dime size, but for conditioner, I mean, if your hair is tangly and frizzy, it's worth giving that a try, because that's what works really well for me, so it might also work really well for you. Number four is do not use hot water on your hair. I know this can be a hard one for a lot of people because we all love to take hot showers, but if you are someone who loves to take hot showers, try to only run that water on your body and not on your hair. And then when you wash your hair, use lukewarm or even cold water. Washing your hair with really hot water takes away moisture and essential oils from your scalp, and then this leaves your hair dehydrated, frizzy, and static. Water, however, has the opposite effect. It closes pores, it seals in moisture, and in that way it helps with frizziness. Number five is using sulfate-free shampoos. So what are sulfates? Sulfates are chemicals that are found in household cleaners and detergents, and they're also in your shampoo. They are an effective cleaning agent, and that's why they are used in shampoos. It makes shampoos effective, but it makes them too harsh on your scalp and your hair as well. And especially for people with frizzy and dry hair, it is very damaging in the long run. So sulfates are very effective at getting dirt out of your hair, but they're also very effective at getting the moisture out of your hair, which is not something that you want. It strips your hair of the essential oils. Sulfate also causes a lathering effect, which is why people are obsessed with drugstore shampoos, because they think they work really well because they lather a lot. And natural shampoos don't lather as much, but they are much better for your hair, and it still cleans it. You're just getting less of the lathering. So a sulfate-free shampoo will leave your hair with more moisture and less frizz. Number six is to wash your hair as little as possible. Do not wash your hair every single day or even every second day. All hair types are different, and you know yourself how long you can go without washing your hair, but that time is probably a lot longer than you might think. You have just gotten your hair used to the frequency that you wash it at, and you can change that. So when you wash your hair, you're washing your hair, but you're also washing your scalp, which gets rid of all of its natural oils. Washing your hair frequently over dries your hair. If you have frizzy hair at all, have you ever noticed that the first day that you wash your hair, it's always the most frizzy, and then it's more tamed the next day and the day after that? Usually most people's best hair day is actually on the second day. That's because it's more static on the first day. So imagine washing your hair every day and having that static frizzy hair every single day because you don't give it a break. So whenever you can, if you know, for example, the next day you have no plans, then avoid washing your hair to allow the oils to naturally moisturize your hair. Number 7 is to avoid touching your hair, and you should avoid touching it when it is wet and when it is dry. After the shower, while your hair is wet, that's when you should put all of your product into your hair. And once it's in there, once you've done your scrunching and your product application, just leave your hair be, because that way it will actually dry into the curl and not to a frizzy mess because you're constantly adding friction to it. And the more you play with your hair, the more frizz you are adding, and by pulling on your curls you are stretching them out. So the only solution is to not touch your hair. Number 8 is more of a hair care styling tip for frizzy hair, and this works wonders. This is the main thing that I have found to tame my frizziness, and that is plaiting or putting your hair into a bun while it's wet. And I have really nailed down the perfect technique that works for me when it comes to this, and that is after my shower, while my hair is wet, I will apply all of the product and then I will let my hair dry about 20% until it feels like it is starting to dry, and that is when I will plait my hair or put it into a bun and I leave it overnight. This technique doesn't really work if I shower in the morning and I need my hair to be nice in the next few hours. It only works overnight because that way it dries 100%. If your hair dries 80% and then you take it out, that 20% is going to be frizz. At least it is with me. And you have to really play around with what works with you. It depends on how much hair you have. I have very, very little hair. So I do one plait going down my head, or I will do 2 little buns at the back of my head. But other people might need 2, 4, or even 6 plaits depending on how much hair you have. So try putting 1 or 2 buns on either side of your hair and let it out in the morning and see if that works for you. Number 9 is to be very gentle with your hair. And I know that this is such an obvious tip, but the reason I put it in here is because I think the reason that my hair got very thin and damaged a few years ago is because I was using these rubber loom bands. Because I have very little hair, I need a very small bobbin to tie my hair, so I used loom bands, and I didn't realize how damaging they were to my hair. So please do not make the same mistake I did. Do not use any rubbery material bobbins. And even if you are using normal bobbins, don't pull them out. Actually unravel them and take them out of your hair. Be as gentle with your hair as you can, and that involves brushing your hair very gently even when it is dry. I am super gentle with my hair now. I treat it as if it is the most delicate thing in the world, and I have really noticed less hair fall and frizz recently. Number 10 is to not use heat in your hair, and I would argue that heat is the number 1 cause of damaged hair. If you are using it, it is so bad for your hair. And I know that most of us have been there where we curled or straightened our hair constantly. Learn to rock your hair, because natural hair is beautiful and everyone can find a way to style their hair in a way that looks really nice naturally. You just have to find that way for you. I used to straighten my hair all the time when I was younger, and then when my hair wasn't straightened, it looked bad because A, I was damaging it, and B, I did not know how to style my natural hair. And now I am in love with my hair. I wouldn't change it, and I don't even want straight hair anymore. So experiment with your hair in good ways, like the tips that I gave you today. Learn to style it in a way that works for you, and if you have any hair care tips for frizzy hair, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video, simply giving me a like will really help out my channel, so thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.